West Michigan. It is a very chilly Tuesday. I'm calling it a topsy-turvy Tuesday with tumbling temperatures. How many T words can I get in there?
You are the queen of alliteration today.
I definitely am. You know, it's kind of one of the, I could just call it the November smackdown from Mother Nature because it is cold out there today.
Well, I tell you, after yesterday, it was such a windy, rainy day, and it seemed like every time, you know how it is when you need to go out to your car, you need to get in somewhere, the downpour comes down because it would stop and then it would start again, and I just had things timed wrong yesterday.
Unfortunately. Well, I got a bunch of errands done. My husband emailed me yesterday morning and he said, hey, let's go to the grocery store Tuesday. My daughter Jen has a basketball commitment for a couple hours this evening. And I said, I'm back, what are you, crazy? We're going to go to the grocery store Tuesday night? And so I said, if you email me all of the groceries, Jen and I will go after school. So we actually hit the grocery store about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and the lines were not short, but I feel so ahead of the game getting stuff done.
Well, I feel as we get closer to Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday that you're probably better off going the sooner the better. I actually have to pick up a few things too, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get that done. And you know, you gotta go at a time when you don't feel it's gonna maybe be as busy. I'm that person that goes grocery shopping late at night.
Oh, like
at odd times.
Like 11
after my daughter takes a nap. Irene goes to bed, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna get everything done. And so I zoom out. Of course, my husband's home with her, and then that's how I get things done. You know how that is, being a busy mom and all.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe you could just email Bryce and have him do your shopping for you.
Hey, that's a great idea.
How about that?
That is really, really nice.
I'm starting to develop, you know, we've been doing 8 West a little over a year together, and I'm sort of starting to see the emergence here of our personalities. You are more like my husband in my relationship, where you kind of have everything ordered and you're ready to go, and so I'm sort of a little more like your husband, I think, in your relationship.
I hold the calendar down. I said, okay, we meet at the beginning of the week. I say, we have this going on. We need to think about this, and we need to plan ahead, because next week we have this. So that's what your husband does.
My husband's like that, too. He's kind of control of the calendar. So anyway, I was just trying to simplify things. I'm actually hoping that I get a little bit of a date night with my husband tonight, because
you got to make time for that, too.
He had the flu over the weekend, which was my birthday, and so we really never.
So you're owed a celebration.
I am, definitely.
I know how you think. I'm right there with you. You do. And if you need some suggestions, I was just thinking recently, you know, we eat out a little bit more over the holidays because we're so busy, and that maybe it's not easy to prepare a meal for the family. So I was recently at a place that I really, really love, and I go there a lot for breakfast, but I've started going there a lot for lunch too, because they do a fabulous lunch. It's called Meze Cafe. It's on Fulton Street in downtown Grand Rapids.
I've heard of it. I've never been there, but this looks delicious.
Yeah, it is right next to Sanchez, and it's owned by the same person. So it's a kind of a world inspired, you know, you've got the Cuban and the Middle Eastern and Spanish inspiration. This is a Moroccan chicken wrap.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Is
they
it
do
spicy?
an omelet with the same stuff too. So I love the omelet, so I'm like, you know what, I have to get the wrap. A little bit spicy. This is a Cuban turkey panini. I love Doesn't that sound so good right now?
It looks fabulous. I'm starving.
With the mojo sauce on the side. And the Cuban turkey, the Cuban pork is really big in Cuba. And they serve it in South Florida a lot too. It's amazing. And they just added a little market, and unfortunately I don't have a picture of the market, but they have some items there. I did take a picture of the menu there just to be like, look at all those offerings. And they're delicious. And so, you know, if you're thinking about a place, Meze Cafe is a really great place to go, and they have Wi-Fi too.
Oh, wonderful.
Right next to Sanchez, which is a very popular restaurant in downtown Grand Rapids.
Now, are they open for dinner, or are they only kind of a lunch?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They're open for dinner too.
Wonderful.
But they are open for breakfast, and they really serve up a fantastic. Actually, I went to Meze, and they have this wonderful French press coffee, you know, like the individual ones. I loved it so much and got hooked on it that's how we make it home now.
Really?
It inspired me to go out and buy one of those. And start doing that, because their coffee is that good. So, hey,
how about that?
Looking for a place, check out Meze. It's really yummy.
You know, my kids, when they were leaving for college, Jake got a French press, and then he got one for Jacqueline as a graduation present. Isn't it wonderful?
No cup of coffee is the same.
Exactly. Well, Jen and I had an opportunity last week to go kind of behind the scenes, a little bit off limits. We were shopping at Rivertown Crossings, and we had the general manager on our show last week, kind of talking about the great promotion they're doing with our friends at Family
Santa is coming.
And Santa's actually there now. But last week, we ended up running into Randy at the hallway of the mall, and he said, hey, you want to see a sneak peek? So Jen and I got to go behind the scenes before Santa got there. Here's Jen sitting in Santa's chair.
Well, that's a big chair.
It's a great big chair for a great big man. So Jen and I actually had the opportunity to go behind the red curtain and get a chance to get our pictures taken in Santa chair before the jolly old fellow
that's quite
arrived.
an honor.
Yeah, how about this? And here I am. You just kind of get the idea of the
enormous.
scale. That is a really, really big chair. But the interesting thing, the way they're doing at Rivertown Crossings this year is just to try to alleviate the lines.
Right.
They don't have general lines for Santa. If you want to get your picture with Santa, you can stand in the line, but it's just kind of an idea to really do this elaborate Christmas display without getting a lot of lines. They have choreographed lights and music, and it really is quite a spectacular show. So even if you're not somebody who likes to do a lot of mall walking this time of the year, you have to get out to Rivertown just to kind of see the spectacular display of color, lights, and music.
And that's going to be a really big place to be on Friday.
Oh, absolutely.
And the rest of the weekend, too. There's going to be a lot of deals going on, and, why not hit Santa while you're there, too, and kind of check it all off the list.
Get into the holiday spirit. Well, we have a special congratulations. Our intern Kyle Pott is with us on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He sent me a text message yesterday afternoon. He was so excited because he is a student at Calvin College, and the Calvin women's volleyball team won the national championship yesterday afternoon. Just incredible. It was in St. Louis. They're, of course, NCAA Division III, and they have just an incredible team this year. It was a magnificent show. A couple of the girls All-Americans, including a spectacular performance by the freshman sensation who was named the Freshman of the Year, Morgan Riefman, who recently graduated in May from Grand Rapids Christian High School. So just incredible. Congratulations to these talented ladies. I know that everybody's super proud of them. The thing about Division III athletics, they're not allowed to give athletic scholarships to these kids. These are kids who choose college based on other factors, but many of them end up being just incredible athletes, and so they get that opportunity to be student athletes, but they also have to be super studious, really committed to keeping their grades up and maintain jobs so they can pay for their tuition. So just congratulations. I know we've got a lot of people who watch 8 West who are followers of the Knights and their great programs in sports. So congratulations.
Continuing the excellence.
Absolutely.
Well, as we all know, it is a busy Thanksgiving week, and we have a jam-packed show for you today. We're stepping into the kitchen of D&W Fresh Market for some tasty Thanksgiving Day meal ideas that you can incorporate even if you've already got your meal ready. Plus, find out about a great deal on wine at D&W Fresh Market.
Perfect. Just in time for the holiday, right? And while it is time to reflect on what we're thankful for, why not make someone thankful that you did something for them? Fox Motors is in the midst of a massive food collection for God's Kitchen. We'll tell you where you can donate coming up.
And after Thanksgiving, of course, comes the sales, but what if you could get bargains before Black Friday? Okay, I need to know more about this. Your Ace Hardware store has a money-saving sale going on today that you won't want to miss. Plus, we'll give you a sneak peek on some sales happening later this week.
All right, and we can get so wrapped up in the holiday season, we tend to forget about important things like our health. Well, our friends at Metro Health want to help us choose the right doctor for our families, so we'll tell you about a special shop for a doc that's coming up.